My name is Yara Mirdad and I am the CEO and Senior Youth Worker at Jamal Edwards Delve. Delve started out in 2018-2019. Our founder, Jamal Edwards, really wanted to reopen the youth centre that he used to attend, and that's essentially where we started. It was all around how do we reopen this centre again and how do we provide services for young people in Ferrari Park.
My name is Ahmed and I'm 15. I most enjoy going to Delve just to play with my friends or speak with youth workers. I like having conversations. It's usually me and Yara just talking about things mostly to do with my schoolwork and how advice for going further.
My name is Ami and I'm 21 years old. The most memorable experience I've had working for Delve has to have been becoming a part of such a tight-knit team. I've worked in other sectors and other job roles before, but being in a team where people rely on you and also value you, it gives you a bit of extra self-confidence you never thought you had.
My name is Kyla and I'm 13 years old. I've been coming to Delve for 3 years. I like the activities that they do and the workers here are all very nice and it's nice to make friends here as well. We've gone to the cinema, we've gone to ice skating twice. We've also done loads of workshops like black hair, poetry and stuff like that. I like writing poetry a lot, so they got some people to come in and speak about it with us, teach us some. It was really fun.
My name's Caden, I'm 16. Come here because it's everyone's like a family here, so it's not strangers or not, and I've known them for quite a long time, so yeah, just keep coming. When I come here, I make music and trying to be successful in this music. The thing that's important to me when I write music is when I think about stuff that's gone on in my life, so I'll just write stuff about that.
The idea was always to support the young people that are here, many of whom had no access to youth provision for the past 10 years. And so it was a very high need area. North Factory in particular is also a high deprivation area, so it's 20% of the most deprived neighbourhoods in the country. And so a lot of what Jamal was trying to do was to provide opportunities, positive spaces, safe spaces for young people to be, and to provide the same opportunities that he had access to as a young man.
My name's Ayaka. I work for a college. I do enrichment for students and I also work as a youth worker at Delve. I've been working at Delve for 3 years since the very start. If I could describe Delve in one word, I would say we're welcoming, and the reason I'd say that is because we are open to all young people. Anyone can come here no matter their background or where they're from. Obviously we're based in Acton, but we do have young people who have travelled from other parts to come and join us at our different facilities, especially our music club. I think a lot of young people do come and feel welcome.
My name's Savannah and I'm 16 years old. It's like a routine, just wake up, go youth club on Wednesday and Friday. So it's I just go there and all my friends are there. Good memories. Probably when we went out and we got to see Ed Sheeran and we had pizza and we just spoke to him, and then we kind of got to know him as well and how he became what he is now.
We've tried to provide work experience, particularly in the creative industries where we know there are some barriers, particularly for the young people that we work with who are from quite diverse communities. So 90% of the young people we work with are from underprivileged communities of colour, and so a big part of that is how do we overcome these barriers for them to access, whether it be work experience, actual roles, internships. So that's something that we work quite heavily on, and obviously that also comes from Jamal being who he is.
Some of the paid opportunities that Delve has offered young people is Bando, for example, which was a short film.
In 10 years, I'm gonna be moving big bits, you get me? I'm gonna have a yacht on my island, sipping Maggies with the sexiest things.
And how are you gonna park a yacht on an island? You get me?
Well, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I don't know, man. Can barely see past next week.
I Am She, a short film dissected in 3 parts. New Gen Festival, where young people held a festival, organised a festival and performed. And there's a lot more opportunities that young people have been paid for and will be paid for going forward as we plan on creating another short film.
We've gone on a trip to UCL twice, so we've got to go around the campus, go see the library and go to the museums. we had to sit down and talk with one of the professors there. The talk was about race and also like the social environment within our society and how people are seen.
We do quite a few different workshops with young people. One of the ones that stand out to me specifically is the Black Hair project that we did. And the main reason why we started doing that project in the first place, because one of our young people was having a lot of trouble at school just because of his hair. So he was constantly getting put in detention, getting in trouble with teachers simply because he chose to wear his hair naturally. So he's got like an afro, and like they would just literally be like, you can't. They just said you can't have your hair like that, and it's just like, what do you mean? You can't have your hair like that. So that kind of kicked off a massive discussion within Youth Club, and because of that we decided to do the hair project and look at the history of black hair specifically and how it's impacted different people and different effects it's had over the years, and how it is still such a political subject even today.
Other services they're quite essential services, so it is housing support, it could be, we're very youth-centered, so a lot of what we do is about forming equal relationships with young people that are centered around what they need and around their lived experience. We are very good at changing our course when we feel that young people aren't interested in the direction that we're taking. So we've adjusted our provision to always meet the needs of young people and see where they're at. A great example is the intergenerational project that we're trying to develop. So 4 or 5 of our young people said that they'd love to work with the older residents in Friary Park. And so we went ahead and got some funding to work once a month with the older care home that's just literally behind us, and visit them once a month and kind of develop that relationship and really give young people an opportunity to engage with older residents.
I want to be an elderly carer, so with Youth Club we actually went to an elderly home and we played like board games and we played lots of games and we ate tea with like the elderly people, and it was good because like I communicated with them and like they understood me. It was really nice.
I'd say my social skills have improved coming to Dell because there's a lot of people around my age that I can speak to here, and there's also I can get a more mature opinion, like talking about some topics with some of the youth workers. So it's just helped me know what to say, when to say, and like how to say different things, and like get my opinion across, or like ask for an outside opinion to try expand my knowledge on like different things going on in society or like different topics.
Being able to have a positive impact on the young people that I work with, being able to help them to grow in confidence and to experience different things, and just to understand that it is actually okay to just be who you are and that who you are is enough. And because I think there's a lot of pressure to be like everyone else, and there's a lot of like cookie cutter models that we see often, especially on like social media, where it tells young people you have to be like this, we have to be like that, because if you're not, then you're just not worthy. And the truth of the matter is you definitely are worthy.
I started out as a young person with severe mental health issues, and I had a massive case file in terms of risk assessments and safety worries and X, Y and Z. And then I started getting involved in projects at my local youth club, Bolingbroke Youth Centre in South Acton. I was 15 years old, and the manager of Delve, Yara, she was a trainee learning how to become a youth worker. So she worked with me as a young person. So she's also seen my journey and how I've come up in other organisations, for example, Ealing Council, the Equality Trust, so on and so on.
Delve means a lot to me. I'm very grateful that I was there from the very beginning. So before we opened the youth centre's doors, I was in the picture, which was great because Jamal and I worked very closely on what it is that we wanted Delve to be and what our vision was and what we wanted to achieve. And so so there's a massive personal stake in Delve for me, and I've been very, very proud of our achievements over the past 3 years. I mean, everybody that knows Yara knows Delve and knows that Yara's with Delve, so put it that way, it means a lot to me. So youth centres have a very special place, I think, in society. There are very few places where young people can come in voluntarily And that's something that's quite important to us. So all of our open access, it's based on young people's voluntary commitment to the youth centre. We don't force young people to come in. There's no targeted work that we specifically do to bring them in. They just come in because they enjoy the relationships that they've built and obviously their friends as well and the activities that we do. We've seen what a lack of youth centres does to serious youth violence. Over the past 10 years, because of austerity, we've seen way more serious youth violence than we'd ever seen before. We've seen young people get into much more serious crime involvement, gang involvement. We've seen high levels of criminal exploitation, sexual exploitation. The cost of living crisis has compounded that even more. So a lot of what we used to do was a lot more generic, whereas now, for example, we work quite closely with the local food bank. We work quite closely with finding different grants that may be able to support families in times of need. So we've really expanded the way that we do our work to meet the needs of the young people, which unfortunately, as the years have gone on, tend to be more and more essential services and quite basic things that humans need. And so I think without youth centres, we're talking about not just a lack of safe spaces and young people having to end up on the streets, but a lack of support, a lack of meaningful, trusting adults, a lack of opportunities. There are lots of opportunities that many of our young people say, if it wasn't for Youth Club, I wouldn't have known about this, or I wouldn't have been able to access this creative project. Yeah, so I think youth centres have had to do a hell of a lot more than they ever have before.